6:20. You're on Breakfast, of course. Now, time to talk electricity reform, and I know I can see you at home shuffling towards maybe the jug to turn it on, maybe turn the toaster on. I want to say, come back. Come on back, because it's very, very important, because power reforms are going to affect how much it costs to put the old jug on or to get the slice of toast. So stay with me, because joining me is Gavin Mail from NZ Compare. Gavin, a television interview is a lot like speed dating, so we've got 4 minutes to get to know each other.
Let's do it well, then.
We can do this. Do you come here often?
Not often, no, but when I do, I want to save money on my power.
Good, good. You're from NZ Compare. Who are they?
So we run a suite of comparison sites in New Zealand, and we also carry out online market research around all things to do with household bills and how Kiwis can save money.
All right, love your jacket, by the way.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, blue. It's very in these days. Have you been up to something important lately?
Yeah, so we recently ran a new survey around the upcoming power reforms that have been put in place and suggested by the Electricity Authority and the government. Asked 1,200 Kiwis for their opinions about them, and were quite surprised by some of those results.
What were the results?
Well, the biggest one, and sort of up front, was only 38% of Kiwis actually knew there were power reforms coming, and that was quite shocking.
Is that a massive fail for the government? Because it is their job to communicate these really important changes in power, which we all use and all depend on, all pay a large price for, and only 38% know they're even happening.
Yeah, I think that is probably part of the reason behind maybe the potential delays that are coming in pushing them through. But the biggest stat that we found was that 2 out of 3 households believe that their bill is actually going to increase as a result of these reforms. And that's obviously not what the government wants.
So the government is going to go through all these reforms to hopefully make us pay less power, and people think the power is going to be more.
Yeah, and I think part of that is down to the sort of 3 key points in the reforms, or in the proposed reforms, and that's removing the prompt payment discount, which 68% of Kiwis have benefited from over the last 12 months. The prompt payment discount is a weird concept. Anywhere else in the world, it's really a late payment fee, and that's sort of increasing that energy hardship on lower income households who can't afford to pay promptly and on time. They're being penalised there, while higher income houses sort of double dip on the benefits.
Can we just go through that again? Because I find that bewildering. So I always thought you get your bill and it says at the bottom, if you pay by the 12th of May, you get 15% off, and it's a great fee. It's like, I don't know, $30, $40, and you're like, yes, I'm in, money back for me, brilliant. It's wrong.
Well, it's not wrong, it's just a different spin. It's just a great bit of PR from Kiwi electricity companies, really.
So it's not actually a discount, that's the price.
That's really your price.
The bit.
And then you're getting a late payment fee if you're paying after that date. But it's just a nice bit of spin. So that's why, I mean, that's a reform that the government wants to push through and makes sense.
And people think in your survey that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
it shows they're utterly confused.
Yeah, and it's very confusing, the pricing in the energy sector and in your electricity bill. Some come with GST on your rates, some without. They're low user tariffs, standard user tariffs. There's a lot of confusion out there, which is why there needs to be reform, but haven't maybe figured out exactly how to do it or communicate it.
Who's buying your survey? Is the government buying this information? You're obviously giving it to us and to people at home for free, but no. Who's buying this?
Well, we're not actually selling it. We're sharing it with the power companies that we work with on Power Compare, to make sure that they know sort of what the consumer wants and what they're interested in. And hopefully they'll allow greater competition, better plans for consumers.
How utterly confusing. Gavin, thank you. Our speed date is over. Your time in the studio is over. You did not receive a rose. Can you please say your goodbyes and leave the mansion? Thank you, Gavin.
All good. Thank you.
Executive of NZ Compare.